See what else is going on. I don't know why they got the jump scares on the Sega screen right there. It's like, God forbid you have your volume up like way too high. I want so bad for this game to be good. I'm just not really seeing enough for us to like justify like staying in this game, like playing it like crazy. You know what I mean? Like a typical MMO where you spend like fucking 8 hours a day playing this one game. I feel like people that would do that with Phantasy Star Online, like the new Genesis, are gonna be very disappointed because they're probably gonna end up beating the whole game in like less than a week. I'm not really seeing a whole lot here, but of course this is just the beta, so like, you know, we're waiting for the story content to be released and probably even new zones, maybe new areas. Because we just have this little small area that we're messing around in right now. So I'm hoping that these other areas open up too, but the question that really lies here is whether or not we're gonna be able to sustain, God bless you, content with all these areas. Like, is there really enough to do to be able to keep playing this game for, you know, months or even a year? You know what I mean? Like, I highly doubt it. Like, I'm starting to see a trend here. The main thing that I noticed for content, as far as just kind of randomly running around, is of course killing mobs, which goes towards your leveling of your character, and then the fighting of bosses. Which the fighting of bosses is kind of interesting because like I've been like, yesterday I remember trying to solo one of the bosses. I was there like literally for half an hour shooting at the thing, like not even joking, like real. Like it was literally a half an hour straight until people finally showed up, and then it went a little faster, so it was like another maybe like 10 more minutes. So like literally I spent almost an hour trying to fight one boss, and yeah, and then it finally died, and then I was able to find groups to continue the chain to continue fighting bosses. The time to kill on these bosses are kind of insane. Like they're like super freaking long, and I think I know why they did this is because like there really isn't a whole lot of content to begin with. So really that's the end game of this beta right now. So like it makes me wonder, like, what else are we gonna see? Like, you know, I was kind of hoping that we would have more stuff to do, like for example Black Desert Online's life skilling, where you can fish, you can, you know, start a farm, you can plant trees and whatever else. Like there's just so much stuff you can do. I was really hoping that we could see something like that in this game, you know, something that we can kind of live in the game a little bit, because they had fishing in Phantasy Star Online 2, the original one, but it's not here in New Genesis. So it's like I don't really know, like unless I just have to go over to the water. Let me just go over there and see. I mean, I really like the concept of this game. I like that the open world stuff, like it's pretty cool. I just feel like there needs to be more. Like if they added in like what Genshin Impact did. Genshin Impact was such a good open world game, mainly because it had so much to discover. You know, it was a giant mystery as to whether or not you're gonna run into treasure chest, or if you're gonna find like a puzzle to solve. Or like, you know, and nothing was ever obvious. Like you had to kind of like use your imagination with it, which is awesome. Like the only puzzle solving I've seen in this game was like the treasure chest that has like a bunch of like locks on it, and then the things break off and you have to go hunt the things down. It reminded me a lot of shooting like the balloons and stuff in Genshin as Amber, you know, like it reminded me a lot of that. But that's the only thing I've run across that has like a puzzle to it. I thought this was gonna be a dungeon here. So this is like just a thing that there's nothing in it. Like what do you do with this thing? Is this a puzzle, you know? See, it doesn't seem like this is anything right here. So I feel like it's lost potential into this being like some secret dungeon or something, you know what I mean? Like, or like even just kind of exploring and then you find a treasure chest right here in the corner, you know? Like, I don't know, like I just wish that there was more to do in this, you know? Oh, here goes the swimming. I don't know if you can, oh, you can't swim any faster than that. At least it's pretty decent. It's not bad. Can't dive. Doesn't look like it. But I don't see anything about actually fishing. Like, you know, remember how it used to be like a little icon in Phantasy Star 2 where you click on it and then you'll start fishing automatically or whatever. But I kind of wish that they made like a real fishing game, like something a little bit more like you have to control it or like interact with it a little bit more. But it doesn't seem like they added anything for New Genesis, so that's kind of disappointing. Here's a random chest, but it's always like one grinder, you see? Like, it's never anything interesting. It's always the same loot every single time. The red ones usually give some kind of rare material thing. You know, so it's pretty predictable already. This game is very predictable with that aspect. And then you just run around grabbing a bunch of random clams, I guess. But yeah, like I'm kind of disappointed with the way it is right now. I'm really hoping that when it's released we get a little bit more stuff, but honestly, like from the past and just looking at every single game I've ever played in my life, whenever a beta was released, you're pretty much getting the full game right there, you know, for the most part. So I doubt that the story is gonna save this game. Highly doubt it. Mainly because, like, just looking at the track record of what Phantasy Star Online 2, the original, was, and how cringy the story was, like, I mean, come on, you gotta admit that the story was pretty fucking cringy. There was so many lost translation stuff that just didn't really translate well to English, that it was just weird. Like, even like I was told so many times to not listen to it in English, to put it in like Japanese you know, voice, because like it's unbearable to listen to. But there were, you know, a few little story arcs that I thought were cool in English, and I liked it and I enjoyed it. But most of it translated poorly. Like, it was terrible. And I'm expecting the same exact kind of feel for this story in this game. So we'll see. But I have a strong hunch that it's gonna end up being a cringy ass story again. So we'll see about that. So that's already something to kind of knock off on the content department, you know? And I don't like the design of these dungeons at all. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I just think these are ugly. This whole VR look or whatever, like it's really boring. I was hoping that they would put us in, like, you know, awesome looking areas, and instead of it just looking like a VR place all the time. It just feels very lazy. Especially considering like the way Phantasy Star Online 2 was, the original, and how like beautiful a lot of the zones were, and especially like the boss fights were like beautiful. You know, so like comparing it directly to that, it just, this is shitty, you know? It's very fucking lazy. So these are pretty much like the main reasons why this game is kind of like making me feel like it's not ready. I just wish there was more to do. And I already knew this coming into it because I was watching some gameplay videos of like Animana playing it and a bunch of other people, and it just didn't seem like it was all there. Like, and then the climbing fucking sucks. Like this jumping shit is terrible. Just look, like you can't endlessly just keep scaling the wall. You have to land on something first before you can like keep jumping. You have to do this basically, like land, jump, jump, land, jump, jump, land, jump, jump. That's the only way to like really scale something. Oh, let's fight this guy. Hold on. My mag keeps telling me to go somewhere. I don't know what it's trying to tell me to go. When I just realized you could zoom the camera out with the plus button on the numpad. The combat is pretty fun, but this is super time consuming. Like it feels like I'm fighting bullet sponges. Like it almost feels like playing the Division all over again. So a lot of the mobs just take forever to kill. But I know that eventually Gear is gonna fix this problem, because especially like when you think about you know, the original Phantasy Star Online 2, once you get geared out and you start getting like 13-star weapons and all that shit, which this game is not gonna have that yet. Apparently they're only going up to 4 stars, but whenever they do the 13-star or whatever, it's gonna be like overpowered as shit, and we're gonna be one-shotting everything out here, so that won't be a problem anymore. But I feel like in the early game though of this game, it's gonna kind of suck to have to deal with. So overall, I'm not gonna get too excited about this game when it launches. I'm gonna take it real slow when I play it, and I'm not gonna expect a whole lot because I was already pretty disappointed with this beta. I just didn't feel like there was enough in it. But anyways, we're gonna see how this game goes. Hopefully we see some good stuff out of it. I'm really hopeful for the future of Phantasy Star Online. And yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't. And I will see you guys on the next one. All right, later guys.